guys, it's the next day. Let the adhesive sit all night. Hopefully it's cured or dry anyway. Let's see how it fits here. It's adhesive. The adhesive is here and then all down through this, so it's solid. It's not moving any, so that's good. We got a good bond. So now this morning I'll go through and weld this seam across, and I'll get it all welded. I think I'm going to put a little panel behind this side over here because I've got a little bit too big of a gap, and it'll just make it more solid. I'll put a little piece of the metal from the other one back behind there and then use that to help hold that where it's supposed to be if I can get it back in there. And then I've got this gap is good right here, but it's a little close down on this end, so I'm going to get all that down there welded first, and then I'll play with this gap back here on the back before I weld these back spot welds. So let's get started. Alright, so I've got a lot of it welded and ground down, and I can see that I've got a low spot here where the curve doesn't quite fit right there, so feels really good right here. And I'm having to take it really slow on the welding in here because that's where that adhesive is, and it wants to catch fire, so I gotta let it just weld just a little bit and let it cool down, and weld a little more and cool down. So I'm gonna get a light back up behind here and look for any kind of holes. You can see holes when you put a light back behind it. I go back through and weld up those holes and then grind it some more. And hopefully have that done in the next, I don't know, hour or so with all the welding down here, and then I'll do some body filler. So still going on this thing. I made me a little backing plate to go back behind this big crack, and so I'm gonna weld it right in here to hold it, and then take this clamp off and just fill this all full of weld and get that solid. And then I'll go back through and still working on all this area here where the adhesive is behind it. Every time I start on it, it catches on fire, so I'm just going super slow. And then I've got where these holes are, there's a little tiny pinhole in each one of these. I'm gonna weld those up. Just keep working at it. finished welding, and I had one area that kept giving me problems was this area right in here where I had the adhesive back behind it, and I could not weld. Every time I would weld, it would just start melting all behind there and run into the weld, and it would just sizzle and couldn't get a good weld. So I got it as best I could, and then I ended up having to use fiberglass in there and got it where I'm happy with it anyway. So now I'm getting ready to start using body filler, and I'm going to fill like a nice big smooth area right here and everywhere that I had a weld. I'm going to go ahead and fill, and I'll go up here and fix this spot here, and these right here, the low spot, and these two spots right here, and these couple spots right here. The goal today was to get the car to Mike, because he I think he can jump on it and get it done pretty quick. I've already got the door there, and he'd rather paint them both at the same time if he can. So while I have a day off, I'm going to try to get all that finished, body filler on there, and sand it down, at least down to like 220 or something, or 320, and get it on the trailer and get it over there to him. Well, I just got the car back from Mike. Getting ready to unload it off the trailer, and here's the work that was done. Super happy with it. Looks really good. Can't see the seam. So let's get it off of here and get it back in the garage. And here's the door. Got it back too. Probably hard to see in there, but it looks nice. We'll see it better when we get it down in the shop. I'll get it on a stand.
And with his freshly painted door in hand, Mark headed down to the shop, all the way dreaming about how his Solstice would look once it was put back together again. He thought about all the friends he would make with such a cool car, and he thought maybe this whole thing just might work out. Next week on Rebuild It.
I'm back working on the 66 today, so I'm waiting on Solstice stuff to get done at the paint shop.
Also, make sure to check us out on Instagram, where we post behind-the-scenes photos, sneak peeks, giveaways, and information on future videos. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in and watching this week's episode of Rebuild It. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any awesome content. Have a good one.